Hey everybody, welcome back to the Overwatch channel on YouTube. Last night I watched Leah Remini's new show, Scientology and the Aftermath. And it's a show I wanted to review for you guys because it's a good show. I think you should watch it. You can pick up a lot of insight into not only Scientology and the people who left that group, but you can apply this to any kind of group think scenario. And that's one of the points I think that I don't know if I made strongly enough on my channel is that breaking away from groupthink was important to me to try to see reality for get closer to the truth about reality by letting the data and evidence about our existence guide me and not some guru or groupthink. And I'm not trying to be anybody's leader or guru either. I'm just trying to source information out to you so that people can, learn this stuff for themselves and see it for themselves. But her new show is really good, and I recommend it. I watched it last night, and I set my DVR to record the series. It is interesting to watch sort of this microcosm of what happens when you get caught up and adhere to some group think situation. Because when you do that, you become an agent of that group. You become, by default, an advocate. And then you get put into position, which was really well exposed in the show in the first episode last night, of this thing that goes on in all these different groups, atheists, scientific groups, religions of all kinds, and that is the rationalization. A lot of one of the people that she interviews emphasized that a lot, but I think they all kind of mentioned it. The rationalization that you go through to rationalize away what you're looking at that isn't correct, and then make sure that you keep your belief and follow the group logic, which is usually illogic. So one thing about this, I'm going to read her book after watching that show last night. I downloaded Troublemaker, which I can't wait to read. But I did read a book a while ago that also sort of dealt with Scientology, but it was more like, because I have an interest in the hacking community, and I kind of relate to a lot of the stuff that goes on in that community as far as individuality and freedom goes. And there is a great book called We Are Anonymous by Parmi Olson. Now, I'm not saying that I'm an advocate for everything Anonymous does, but it's a hilarious read to find out the antics that went on. And what really sprung this group into existence was this sort of conflict and battle that exploded between some in the hacker community and people from the 4chan groups against Scientology, which really, if that didn't happen, I'm not sure we would even be talking about Anonymous today. But it is a really good book. I read it. I downloaded it on Audible so I could listen to it. And you can get it on Amazon, but you can also get it on Barnes & Noble and other places, of course. And the book is really well written. It sort of reads like a thriller at times, and it's really another great book. This one I can recommend because I read Leah Remini's book. I haven't read yet, but it is a bestseller, and she is quite a personality, and so I'm looking forward to reading that. But you definitely wouldn't want her mad at you. She's like formidable personality. But I'm glad that she has freed her mind and broken free of this cult, basically. And the whole thing, though, that you can take away from this show, even if you had nothing to do or don't know anybody that's in Scientology or anything like that. I don't know anybody that's involved in this group, but you can apply this to any church mentality, any type of atheistic, scientific closed-mindedness. And if you're new to my channel, let me just give you a quick rundown. If you take a look at all data and evidence, it's clear that we are spirit or energy beings that occupy physical bodies. Our consciousness is not produced by our brain. Scientists know this in general, but they don't want to admit it. They will go through great lengths to word it in ways that they can say it without saying it. That's why they have this whole thing with the matrix reality. The universe is a hologram. There's code in our existence, that type of stuff. And I'll deal with that on other episodes. But as far as exposing the whole basic concept of groupthink and something that I could stress to you: listen to all, follow none. Let the data and evidence speak for itself. Don't rationalize away things. Don't be cynical of evidence just because it doesn't fit your group's mentality. Don't. If I could give you any advice, that's the advice I would give you. Don't do anything like that. Scientology also, from what I've read about it and from what I've seen in other documentaries and other books that have discussed this group, it seems to me, from what I can tell about their core beliefs, is that they've taken the basic core elements of certain things that come out of Gnosticism and they've perverted it greatly. They've completely gone off the rails with it and created their own little fictional system, which happens everywhere. They take, usually the core beginning of something will have elements of truth, and then it gets corrupted by group mentality. And that happens all over the place. So, our reality is definitely some type of reality that has limited our perception. Our bodies and brains limit our consciousness. And I mentioned before, scientists like Stuart Hameroff, Rupert Sheldrake, Dean Radin, others have explained this thoroughly. But the real question then becomes, why is our perception so reduced and crippled by our bodies and brains? And I would submit to you that it's probably not for a benevolent purpose. It's like a prison reality. But this whole show here, definitely recommend it. That's why I wanted to do a video on this and tell you about this other book here that's sort of related to it. So I will be checking out this book next, I think, on my reading list. And thanks for watching. Talk to you guys later. If you happen to watch the show, let me know what you thought of it, or if you're going to watch it, leave a comment about what you thought about the show. Take care. See you later. Bye.